Good morning. This is Victor Jimenez with Sewerline Jet Professionals. I'm here at 10550 Wellworth Avenue in Los Angeles, and I'm in the process of performing a video examination of the main sewer line. Now, the main sewer line is the portion of the waste drainage piping which is exterior to the structure. It lies underground and connects the building drain line system with the public sewer. The building drain line system then is the portion or portions of the waste drainage piping which is underneath or interior to the structure. Today's video examination is not focused on the building drain line system, so if further evaluation is desired regarding the building drain line system, a licensed plumbing contractor should be contacted, or a specialty building drain line video examination can be set up through our office. Alright, so I've accessed today's main sewer line from a 4-inch main sewer line cleanout located behind a sub-access on the back right wall of the structure, right next to the water meter. Verify what I'm looking at. Yeah, the water meter. So we've gone ahead then, and I pushed out through some of the building drain line system, zeroed out the camera once the pipe exits the building, and then I pushed 40 feet from that point, which is where we're sitting right now. Now, what we're looking at right this second is essentially a piece of pipe known as a T-fitting, and we are in a material known as cast iron. So, cast iron is a material that typically has a surface life of about 70 to 80 years. And the issues with cast iron is that as it starts to get older, you start to have rust and scale buildup, and the pipe starts to essentially degrade over time. Now, one of the reasons that is an issue, specifically with the type of fitting that we're in, is essentially the way that they connected this pipe, or the type of joint connection that was used, makes actually getting any further in the line inaccessible. Now, I'm going to pull back a little bit so that this is a little bit more clear. You can see here that for the water, it might be easy, gravity might just pull it down, but to get any kind of inspection equipment down through that gap doesn't really work, because as you start pushing down, the pipe starts to close off more and more. Now you can see at the top of the pipe there is an opening, and now what that opening is actually a cleanout access. Now this is currently underground. I went ahead and marked out this location in the front yard. It's pretty much at the corner of the front yard, right at the corner of Wellworth and Fairfax. Double check actually. I'm sorry, not Fairfax, Fairburn. So it's right at that corner, and I marked it out with the pink marker flag. Now the pipe is only about 2.5 feet deep at this point, which is good for my next recommendation. I was trying to locate, or actually excavate, this cleanout cap, but the pipe is too far down, or the cleanout access is too far into the ground for me to be able to access it today. So what my recommendation is to actually get into this line. What you're going to need to do is excavate in that section, expose the cleanout, and extend it up to the surface. And the reason for that is that once you get that cleanout access, you'll be able to drop right into the pipe, and you'll be able to get over this section. I tried various kind of tricks to get through this section. I had water running. I had various different things going on. Try different things on the camera. None of that was able to get through this section. So the only way we're going to be able to get any farther is to get into that access point right there. So right this second, we're basically about 2 inches away from the city sidewalk. So we're going to be coming from that point all the way up to the access point that we used today. And I'll be commenting on the pipe material and the condition. Now, I've already mentioned that the pipe material we're in right now is a cast iron pipe. Now you can see there's a couple things going on. First, there is rust and scale buildup occurring in the pipe. The second thing that's kind of most noticeable is at the bottom of the pipe, it started to essentially channel off. And you can see the bottom of the pipe is much darker than the rest of the pipe material. Now why that is because that is a section obviously that gets the most amount of debris and water through it. And it's a section that's actually rotting away the fastest. So the reason that you have that dark material is that the pipe material itself is actually weaker because there's more pieces of the pipe leaving, and it's actually starting to rot away. Now, while that might sound alarming, the pipe material that we're looking at today is in pretty decent shape considering the age of the pipe. That doesn't mean that the pipe shouldn't be considered for replacement in the future, because it should. It is an older material and one that eventually will fail completely. But so far, from what we've seen today, we've seen nothing that would indicate that it's broken, that it's failed. It is still functioning. Well, it might be old and it might cause different issues over time, and eventually we'll need to get replaced completely. There isn't any issue that's going on with it today that would indicate or require a firm recommendation that the line gets replaced immediately. Now we have a couple more feet here. The line runs in basically a diagonal path from the back right corner of the structure towards kind of that front right corner of the property, right at the sidewalk. Pretty much right where the for sale sign is on the house. It's basically where, if you could line that up, that's where the sewer line's running. So at this point we're entering the building drain system, so we're now under the house. We're still in that same cast iron. That's okay, cast iron is perfectly acceptable to be used under the structure. We're going to have a couple more feet here, and then the line's going to make a turn. It does a little bit of like an S movement under the ground. No real clear reason why it was set up that way, but I can see that the line was extended just due to our access point. Alright, now we're going to be pulling out up into this access, and I'm just going to take a minute to get one thing set up. I'm going to try to get the best shot I can of the cleanout for you. We're pulling out through a section of ABS plastic that was extended. I'm going to wipe off the camera. Okay. So you can see here, we're right by the water meter, the sub-access, and that pipe that's sticking up. There's a cap on it right there, but that is the extension for the main sewer line. That's how we got into it. Okay, so currently my recommendation is going to be to get that section, that clean out at 40 feet exposed, so that we can get into the rest of the line. And for the meantime, as long as proper maintenance is done on the cast iron, it's still functioning. So with that, I'm going to be wrapping up the video portion of the examination for today. Once again, this is Victor Jimenez with Sewer Line Check Professionals. Thank you very much, and have a pleasant day.